Today we're speaking with Chris Walker, the CEO at Refine Labs, a demand accelerator for B2B SaaS companies that help businesses dominate categories and unlock major growth opportunities. Chris is also an expert in all things demand gen and host of the State of Demand Gen podcast and Demand Gen live sessions on LinkedIn.
That don't know me, my name's Chris Walker. I think about myself as it's interesting as I continue to develop and the business that I run right now continues to grow, as that I've always seen myself as a business strategist, not a marketer. But what I recognized is that marketing is the best way to get things done in business today. And when you look at marketing in more of a broad view than just comms, putting things on social, running lead gen, things like that, and you think about how customer insights drive that strategy, how customer insights drive your product strategy, how customer insights drive how you target, then you think about marketing in a much more broad view, you realize that marketing strategy is synonymous with business strategy. And that's how I see myself.
What is a recent innovative marketing campaign that you have conducted?
I feel like what we do, people don't see as innovative, but I don't see a lot of people doing it. So the things that we do generally that I think people undervalue that are driving significant growth in our business right now, I'm not sure that people would view them as innovative, but like I mentioned, other companies aren't doing them, is the way that we think about our LinkedIn content and using video is something that, and long form video that is. So I posted a 9-minute and 31-second video on LinkedIn, and I publish greater than 6-minute videos there a lot, which I've never seen anyone else do. The reason that people don't do it is because they care about the views and the vanity metrics that you see in the platform. But people literally put in the comments, that was a great video. I watched all 9 minutes and 31 seconds of it. And so I think there's some just challenging general assumptions of people that people make has been something that I think has been relatively innovative for us. And I think the number one thing that we do as a company here at Refine Labs that I really haven't seen a company do it like us, is the way that we've taken LinkedIn and now scaled it across about 40, 50 employees simultaneously, which is a lot of very smart demand marketers posting about marketing information almost every day, which is creating this like crazy ecosystem and flywheel. So I would say that's probably the number one, is how we empower and enable our employees to do whatever they want to do on LinkedIn, not force them to post company blogs and other bullshit. So that's probably the number one innovative thing that we're doing right now that people would see.
You're sourcing candidates for Refine Labs. Do you particularly look for someone who has a social presence?
It's really interesting to think about because of the way that we market, the people that want to have a social presence apply. So it's the other way around. Maybe they most likely don't have a presence right now, but then once they get in here, they want to do it because they see a bunch of other people doing it and being successful and having fun with it. And so I think the way that we've been able to do it is create an environment where people are excited about it, that feel like they're not being pressured into doing it, that they do it because they want to do it, which is why I think it's working for us and why it's not working for a lot of others. Things that force people to post like that, the environment they create does not empower people to actually do it or want to do it. And I think that's really the gap. So it's not only about the resistance of people forcing, it's about the culture inside of the companies that are trying to do this is why it breaks down, in my opinion.
I guess, tangibly created that culture, and where did everyone get their ideas from to post?
To create this culture as leaders is to do it yourself. All of the people on our executive team are active on LinkedIn, post a lot, and we show people what good looks like, and we teach people how to do it, and we give them the tools and enablement during onboarding to be successful. And so that's how you get it done, by not just being the CEO up here and telling people they need to post on LinkedIn, but being the leader who does it and shows people how to do it. It's interesting because if you're doing content right, then you shouldn't need to think about what you're doing, what you're posting, because you're doing it, you're getting insights, you're posting your thoughts, you're posting what you're doing. And so our company runs demand marketing. I would even go more broadly to say that we run marketing at a lot of B2B SaaS companies. And so each person that's doing that is an expert in that. So they have expertise and they're doing it actively, which then gives them ideas that fuel the content and things like that. So I would say that a lot of the ideas that people post about don't come from me. It comes from the experience that you have here every day.
What is one marketing mindset or strategy you're really excited about going into 2022?
The things that make me successful as a marketer don't change every year. The things that I do are tried and true. Figure out how to get insights, understand customers, figure out how those insights can come to you continuously so you can update the strategy. Do things that are in the best interest of your customer, communicate effectively, learn how people want to buy, and then reverse engineer how you can make that experience aligned with how they want to buy. It's all simple stuff. And so if you are committed to doing it, it's very simple. If you're a company that isn't committed to doing it or has a lot of infrastructure that prevents you from doing it, then it becomes very difficult to do otherwise very simple things. The thing, to answer your question more directly, that I'm excited about and I see emerging is this continuous development of what a actual community is. I think that we've done a really interesting, kind of like a really strong case study of what this could be when executed properly, which is not just a product user group or some Facebook group that you put up or some Slack thing. That what we've done is we've created a mix of live events, social networks, and some type of like DMs and things like that have created a community that is not specific to a place. It's a community that's specific to how people think. And so you can be part of that community on YouTube. You can be part of that community on LinkedIn. You can be part of that community in our live events that we host multiple times a week, and we're going to do one this afternoon. So there's a lot of different places, but we attract people that think about marketing in a certain way. And so I think that implementation and that strategy on community is unique, and it's something that we're having a lot of success with.
What is a marketing mindset or strategy that you're just ready to see end this year?
One that's lingering, that's just the idea of lead gen. I think that people should really think differently about this one. Lead gen appeases early stage vanity metrics, and usually, most often, doesn't help your sales team hit their targets, at least at a rate where they need in order to be successful, because it's short term, not aligned with how buyers buy, and not customer focused. It's just black and white simple. And so that companies spend a majority of their money and a majority of their marketing time to collect leads, low intent leads from places like content syndication, paid social lead gen, others things like that. And whether you're doing contact acquisition or you're doing some activities to drive in MQAs or intent data, it's all lead gen. Marketers doing something to hit a vanity metric so their sales team can try to do sales to people that don't want to buy right now. Like, that's the one that needs to end, because it doesn't, like, if you just ask your buyers if they want to buy that way, you will hear a unanimous no. And so the thing that needs to end is companies not respecting how your buyers want to buy. The whole reason that companies are struggling with go-to-market right now is for that singular point, is because they focus on how they want to sell or how they're told to sell by Gartner, not how their buyers want to buy. Just ultra simple.
Companies could just do one thing to change their buying process the way prospects want to buy. What would it be?
To survey 500 of their decision makers and ask them, at what stage do you want to talk to our sales rep? Like, what is the first step in your buying process? How would you like us to let you know about new information? Where do you go to learn about new stuff before you're interested in buying? Which sources of information do you trust the most? And start to and then map that back to your go-to-market strategy and your marketing strategy. The one of which sources do you trust the most will be super interesting for people. Go in there and put peers, influencers, content on social networks, review sites, analyst firms, of content at conferences and events, and go and put that and see what your buyers say, and then map that against where your budget gets spent, and your budget gets spent in all the places that buyers trust the least.
Here's your thoughts on just product-led growth in general.
Customers have a dual PLG and demo funnel, which almost all product-led companies will have that, because product-led companies eventually do want to sell enterprise deals. They just start in a different way. The thing that I'm seeing though in product-led companies is that in theory it should be more buyer-focused, but it's not. When you actually look at how it's getting implemented, what they do at product-led companies is they take $1 million a month, shove people into a free trial form, just like they did with their ebook form. And then once they're into the product, certain people hit certain little they send out emails and do a bunch of other shit. So they hit certain metrics, and then their sales team starts cold calling them. It's the exact same thing. And so this is why I'm telling people to think about go-to-market strategy, right? Just because you're doing PLG doesn't matter if you're doing the same shit that doesn't align with how buyers want to buy. And so there's a lot of buzz around it. The actual performance metrics in most of those companies are very poor. If you look at CAC to LTV and things like that, it's way worse than a sales-led company. It's like not that much better. It could, in theory, it should be. If it was executed properly, it would definitely work. But when you get down to actual execution, people take old strategies, old mindsets of what they're trying to do when they were doing ebooks in 2014, and they just do the exact same thing in product-led.
Give a chance to promote your services, give a plug for anyone looking to improve their marketing and how they can get in touch.
I don't come on these things to sell my stuff, so I will let you know that we have a podcast called State of Demand Gen that has a ton of awesome insights. We publish 3 episodes a week, so if you want to check that out, feel free. Additionally, we host a live show called Demand Gen Live every Tuesday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. Would love to have you there. We have a really strong community of hundreds of marketers that show up and try and get better every week. And so if you're interested in that, we'd love to see you there.